Ever heard of a novel that caused a wave of copycat suicides across an entire continent? Today, we re-diving into the story that completely shook 18th century Europe. Goethe, The Sorrows of Young Werther. This isn't just a simple love story. It's a shocking record of how a gifted artist's soul is destroyed by a world he just couldn't fit into. Our story begins with Werther, a young man fed up with the calculating, complicated life of the city. He doesn't care about money or a career. His world revolves around nature, art, and pure, unfiltered emotion. He's an extreme idealist. So, he runs away from this suffocating reality to a quiet village, and that's where the tragedy truly begins. There he meets a woman named Charlotte, or Lot. She is everything he ever dreamed of, his perfect, imagined ideal. From the moment they meet at a ball, Werther is completely captivated. Lot is genuine, charming, and dedicated to caring for her younger siblings after their mother's death. He's instantly smitten. Every moment with Lot feels like a dream. They take walks, read romantic poetry, and share a connection so deep that Werther is convinced he's found paradise right there beside her. But this paradise already had an owner. Lot was engaged to a man named Albert. Suddenly, Werther's perfect happiness had an expiration date. Soon enough, Albert returned to the village, and he was the exact opposite of Werther. Calm, rational, and responsible, the perfect man society demanded. Albert was even kind to Werther, trying to be his friend, but Werther was torn. He desperately wanted to stay near Lot, but he knew he couldn't stand in the way of her future. His pure love began to twist into a consuming jealousy and self-pity. He eventually confessed his feelings, but Lot firmly drew the line, insisting, "We are only friends." Unable to bear the agony, Werther decided to leave the village and face reality. He returned to the city and got a job as a diplomatic assistant. But the cold, rational world of bureaucracy was no place for a man like Werther. His free spirit was suffocated by rigid rules and formalities. The final straw came when he was publicly slighted because of his social status. This pushed him into a deep disillusionment with a society that just didn't understand him. He found no meaning in his job or in the world around him. The art and emotion he cherished were treated as completely useless. So, he abandoned everything and returned to the one place that held any meaning for him, the village where Lot lived. When Werther got back, his world shattered again. Lot had married Albert. She was now a married woman. Werther's pain morphed from simple, unrequited love into a toxic poison born of forbidden desire. He couldn't stay away, constantly lingering around Lot, torturing himself with memories of their past and the impossible present. Lot was also deeply troubled, shaken by his intense feelings. She finally pleaded with him, "Please do not visit me anymore." At that moment, Werther realized his life was over. To him, Lot wasn't just a lover. She represented all the beauty and hope left in the world. Consumed by despair, Werther paid Lot one last visit. He passionately read her a poem about their tragic fate. Lot broke down in tears but quickly regained her composure, firmly rejecting him and locking the door behind her. Werther went home and sent a servant to Albert with a note asking to borrow his pistols for a journey. The unsuspecting Albert sent the guns. As Lot handed the pistols to the servant, she was seized by the darkest premonition of her life. That night, Werther put on the blue coat Lot had last touched, wrote his final letter to her, and used the pistols that had passed through her hands to take his own life. The next morning, his body was discovered. He was buried outside of consecrated ground, without a proper funeral, bringing his story to its tragic end. Werther's tragedy wasn't just about love. It showed how a highly sensitive person could be so helplessly shattered by a cold society driven by reason and reality. The novel became so popular among young Europeans that it led to a phenomenon known as Werther fever, including a spike in copycat suicides, causing it to be labeled a dangerous book. It is a powerful reminder of the devastating clash between idealism and the unyielding demands of the real world. Thank you for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as I did, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more deep dives into classic literature. See you next time.